Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Ron. Hey, John and crew, it finally came out. The first look at the Mario Brothers movie came out, and I think it looks great. Jack Black as Bowser seems fantastic. The only thing that still rubs me the wrong way is Chris Pratt as Mario. His Mario voice isn't very dissimilar from his regular voice. I just don't see what his casting adds to the role. Why not just get a real voice actor? What did you guys think of the trailer?
All right, Ron, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yes, yesterday, the Mario Brothers trailer looked. We talked about the poster that came out the other day. We love the poster. I mean, it was a perfect poster for a Super Mario Brothers movie. In case anybody was worried about what the aesthetics and the designs would look like, it is perfect. It looks great. So the trailer comes out yesterday, right near the end of the John Campea Show. And we watched it in here. And listen, I actually got to concur. I thought the trailer was great. Seeing Bowser show up, and the thing, and the penguins, that is but a taste of our fury.
That was
Do
funny.
you yield? I'm like, come on. This is awesome. And then Bowser just brings the whole city down by himself. Okay, so it looks great. And then Mario shows up and it looks amazing. And then the controversy starts because Mario says 9 words. He says, "What is this place?" And then something about going to Mushroom Town, which I think is something Ray says every Friday night. But going to Mushroom Town or whatever it is the line is. And listen, a lot of people were not happy with how the voice sounds.
The wambulance came.
The wambulance came running down. The wambulance came. This comes just from the folks at Variety who said the following. The trailer for Universal Pictures and Nintendo's The Super Mario Brothers movies has debuted, bringing with it a first listen of Chris Pratt's Mario voice. The actor told Variety earlier this year that he worked really closely with the directors to craft the perfect Mario voice, adding, "We tried out a few things and landed on something that I'm really proud of." So, what does Pratt's Mario voice sound like? He only gets 2 brief lines of dialogue in the trailer. "What is this place?" and "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come." But it was enough to send social media into a craze with reactions. Many users found Pratt's Mario voice too similar to Pratt's own speaking voice, which led to confusion as the actor previously touted the voice as unlike anything fans had heard before. And that comes to us from Variety. Okay.
That is true.
And it's absolutely true. He did say that. And first of all, the trailer itself, I think is a win. I think the trailer itself overall is a win. It looks great. I'm more interested today in watching this movie than I was yesterday. As far as Pratt's voice goes, I was okay when they announced that they were casting Chris Pratt to do the voice for it. I mean, you know me, I prefer if you actually get real professionally trained career voice actors to do it because they'll do a better job. But I was okay. I mean, listen, full credit. The job Chris Pratt did in Lego Movie was amazing. As I can't even remember the name of his character, the special, but I can't remember. But anyway, he was great in that. And I have been wondering what will a Mario voice sound like here. Being Italian, I want to hear the Italian in it. But okay, they're going with him, so let's hear this voice. There's something that I think a lot of people are missing here. And as much as Chris Pratt will say, "I worked with the directors," blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, the decision of what will Mario sound like in our movie is the director's decision. At the end of the day, it's the director's decision. So if you don't like the voice we got from Chris Pratt, I have some news for you. Whoever they casted, that's kind of what the voice would have been, because that's the voice that the directors chose. This isn't Chris Pratt's fault. All right? Now, I'll tell you as well. When he started speaking and he says, "What is this place?" I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like Mario. I thought that too, but it's not Chris Pratt's fault. The directors have decided they want, for some reason, they want a normal. They want a more straightforward North American Caucasian sounding voice. And so whether they had Chris Pratt in that role or they had Ryan Reynolds in the role, or they had John David Washington in the role, or whatever, that's kind of what it would have sounded like because that's what the directors wanted. So I'm just saying, if you don't like the voice, I can be with you on that, but let's not blame Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's the hired hand. Chris Pratt's the hired hand here. That said, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat. I don't think the voice we heard in the trailer is the voice we're going to hear in the movie. I really don't. I think there's one of two options here. I think option number one is that this is a bit of a misdirect. If so, it's a bad one because it's just getting people talking negatively. Or we could, completely the opposite, we were talking about this before the show started, we could be in for a Sonic the Hedgehog situation, where instead of them going back and doing a new skin for Sonic and putting it in, they just say, Chris, we need to come back in the studio for 4 days and we need to re-record the audio, which would be a lot simpler and a lot cheaper than trying to change the look of Sonic. And they may go back and do that and say, just kidding, everybody. But I honestly, right now, and I have nothing to prove this with, this is just me speculating, I don't think the voice we heard in the trailer is going to be reflective of the voice we hear in the movie. At least I hope not. But then again, it was 2 lines. Maybe in context of the movie, they do it that way and it works perfectly fine. I just don't like it when I or any of us overreact to such a tiny sample size that we don't really have enough yet to base it on. But yeah, if you were to ask me, was I happy with the sound of the voice? Honestly, no. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, MeUndies. Now, guys, I admit for all my life, I have been a low quality underwear wearing kind of guy. I always just got the cheapest pack of underwear I could find because I never really thought about it. Well, that all changed when I started wearing MeUndies. They are simply the softest and most comfortable underwear I have ever owned, and I will never go back. And guys, spooky season is here, and so is the latest Halloween collection by MeUndies. Warning though, it's scary soft. MeUndies is back with a new limited edition prints like Jack Attack, No Body Like You, and Spell It Out. So go on and grab undies, socks, bralettes, and more made from their feels like you have nothing on micromodal fabric. And if you need a last minute costume, be lazy and transform into a spooky skeleton with their loungewear set, Lazy Bones. Guys, the scary soft hype is real. If you're not impressed with MeUndies, your first pair is on us. That's a promise. To get 20% off your first order and free standard shipping on US orders, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, you know, as a professional voice actor and voice instructor yourself, and as a Mario fan yourself, what did you think of the trailer?
It's an Italian icon. We have to respect him.
Yes.
I do love the initial reports, though. This isn't going to offend any Italian Americans. It was like, as an Italian American, that is not my concern.
Yeah, I load up Mario every day. Thank you. I'm not offended.
I've watched that Family Guy episode. You all always say we all speak all boopity boppity, right?
Boopity boopity.
It's my dad's favorite joke. He's the only one who's not Italian in my family. But the concern for me was it's not Charles Martinet, who is the voice I've grown up with. He's voiced both Mario and Luigi since 1992. He's still in this movie. He's in this trailer. At the end, you see his name pop up. So it's not like they're completely discounting somebody who does this voice and is going to continue doing the voice in the video games. Do I love Chris Pratt's voice in this? Not really. It's kind of this Boston, New York little thing here. Maybe I'll be proven wrong because, like you were saying, it's just a handful of words. That's not what I'm going to get super hung up on in this movie, though. Because the visuals in this make me happy. This is how Mario
visually
should look.
Looks great.
This looks stunning. The fight between the Koopas and the Penguins is so cute and lovely. And Jack Black's voice acting in this is incredible. Because I will say, as somebody who mostly does focus on voice acting, there are people who can do both, right? We have some on-camera actors who really translate beautifully to voiceover and are able to kind of reach that mezzanine vocally, if you will. There are other on-camera actors who cannot do that. And their performances are really, really flat because they don't breathe that life into a character. They're not actually being the third dimension of that character for them. You usually bring in these people because people come to movies for big names, right? I don't think we need that in animation, though. I really don't. And I think a lot of times we do end up with a lackluster performance because we go for a name as opposed to somebody who is well-trained in this. You know, get a Tara Strong in here, get an Eric Bauza in here, get these performers who are incredible and have this huge vocal range. That's not to poo-poo on what Chris's abilities are. And maybe I'll be proven wrong that he is the right voice for this Mario. I just don't understand why we don't go back to that kind of Disney sensibility from like the 1960s and 70s, where we had a stable of voice actors who we would constantly hear and we would go, oh man, these voices are so incredible, so profound. I wish we had that instead.
Rob, you were in here with us watching this trailer yesterday. What did you think about it?
I really liked the trailer. You know, I thought it was great. I thought it looked good. It made me laugh. Like you said, that line from the whole penguin confrontation with Bowser and the Koopas or whatever. I laughed. I'm in. I'm like, okay. My my thing about voice acting is, and the thing I've always loved about great voice acting is, does the voice look like it belongs in that character's mouth? And that's the thing. There are sometimes when I've heard, like, and when you hear a Tom Hanks, or like I hear Tom Hanks as Woody, kind of, but I hear Woody. And it's sometimes surprising to me when I found out who does a voice for a character.
Right.
Because I don't want to know. Like, I want to hear that character's voice coming out of that character. And maybe because I've heard a voice for Mario before, I just didn't feel that Chris Pratt's voice, it felt incongruous with the character of Mario. But there was so much going on in the trailer that I want to reserve judgment until I can have him, or hear him having a conversation with another character where nothing else is going on.
You know what I mean? Too small of a sample size. Ray,
Yeah.
You saw this. What do you think?
Look, I'm going to say something that people might hate me for, but when you play Mario, you get a sentence or two, and
Here
then
we
you play a
go.
long level, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Then you go back to another cutscene, a sentence or two. To get that Italian, super exaggerated voice for 2 hours talking, that might not be for me. You know, I'm just saying, like, I could
That's a good point.
I
That's
could
actually
find
a
myself
really good point.
getting annoyed by it, to be honest. And that's just my opinion. I'm people see me as dumb anyway, so like, if you're gonna get mad at what
But
my opinion is,
listen.
then
As an Italian myself, I can tell you that that is a point I'd not considered. That, do I want to hear about 2 hours of this? And
We've got House of Gucci for that.
I go over to my uncle's house for that, and like, do I want to hear 2 hours of
And
that?
I would
That's
say-
a really good point.
and this movie might do big overseas just because, you know, where Nintendo and Mario came from. Like, maybe they've heard the Mario voice too much.
Well,
Maybe it'd be a different take on it. And you know what? I'm not gonna live and die by the sword of his voice, whatever. I enjoy what I saw. I love it. I'm so excited. Let's do this. Finally, Mario's back in my life. I haven't played a game in forever. So, and plus Chris Pratt mentioned a game no one mentions. Super Mario, the arcade game. His love for this character might up the
Well,
level
it
of
should
this
be
movie.
pointed out, when Mario first arrived, his voice was not the voice we know now. It wasn't that. It was more of a New Jersey accent kind of voice.
and I would say this. I mean, there's a segment of the Graham Norton show where Chris Pratt is talking about when he was visiting, when he's married to Anna Faris, he watched this British reality show.
Yes.
And you know
I
what?
love this clip.
Yeah, I love this clip, and he talks about how he learned to mimic the voices. And he's on the chair with Jude Law and another British comedian, and he does the voices of the characters from this British show.
What, you think I'm your mother? We're going to go to Ibiza this weekend.
That's it. That's the clip, and it slays. And the thing is, Chris Pratt knows how to do voices. He's a great mimic in that way. And when you watch this, I still hold out hope that he has crafted a voice that I think we will all like. And again, I trust the directors, as you should, really. I mean, the rest of the film looks pretty great. You think they're going to let it fall down on a voice?
Well, again, I think what it all comes back to, we just got to keep in mind, we literally heard 2 lines.
Yeah.
We literally
And there's
heard
other noise
2
going on.
lines. Yeah. So let's, I mean, and did I particularly like what I heard? Not particularly, but it was 2 lines. Let's see what happens. And maybe they make changes. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the Mario trailer overall? And then where do you think about the whole Chris Pratt voice situation, the decisions the directors made with it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.